can we just quickly go around the room and introduce ourselves so that we all know each other, and we'll be, I think Bill is our newest addition to our family. Bill Holman lives in St. Louis, and he teaches residential long-term care management for us. And Bill, do you want to do a quick introduction?
Sure. Thank you, Ellen. Pleased to be here and great to meet all of you. My day job is running a small system here in St. Louis called St. Andrews Resources for Seniors system. We have...
it's not that small.
Yeah. We've got 18 properties that range every direction from affordable housing in the HUD world up to entrance fee, life plan community, and also a fairly thriving home-based services. So on a daily basis, we're taking care of around 5,000 older adults at any given time with a team of 800 employees. But I've enjoyed my time working with Ellen and teaching the Geron 630 class. And I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you tonight. So thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Patty, you want to go next?
Sure. So hi, everyone. It's nice to see everyone. I am, for the most part, retired. As Ellen said in the beginning of our meeting, I spent many moons working started at an ASAP, then went to Elder Affairs, and then off in the sort of consulting world working for IBM. But it's all spent my whole life really working with aging services and long-term services and supports. As I said, I'm pretty much retired, but I keep getting dragged back in every now and again, and Ellen dragged me back in to work on an internship program at UMB. So I like staying in the game, and it's just a lot of fun. Not teaching anymore in the program, but also taught a number of classes. So it's great to be here, and sorry I missed yesterday. It sounded like a great event.
Thanks, Patty. Joan?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. It's great to see everyone and my professors. Finished the MAS program last August and finished up my IT job finally after almost 40 years there, and got a job working in the senior program department at a nonprofit called Family Services of Westchester. And I do direct case management for underserved older adults with mental health issues and elder abuse protection and prevention program. And I also sit on a monthly elder abuse board. It's terrible, but I feel like it's probably the direction that I, have been trying to get in, like to help more people. Right now I'm helping about 20 older adults individually, and just amazing, sad stories and problems, but it's very rewarding.
It's Westchester, New York?
Yes, Westchester, New York.
Wow.
Thanks, Joan. Dan?
Hi, everybody. Hi to all my colleagues and former bosses, and most importantly, all the students. It's fun to see all of you. I'm like, I guess like Patty, I'm semi-retired. We'll call it semi-retired because I still love teaching at the UMass Boston program. It's fun. I was the former CEO of Mystic Valley Elder Services, which was it's with nonprofit. It's an ASAP. It's an area agency on aging. And I was also in the mid-1990s the CEO of the Alzheimer's Association of Massachusetts. So great career. And I do love being semi-retired.
Don't make us jealous. Bob?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for inviting me, Ellen, and good to see everybody here. I am retired out of running the Area Agency on Aging in Central Mass. And might I remind everybody that it was the only standalone Area Agency on Aging in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Thank you, Bob. Laurie?
Hi, great to see everyone. Laurie Richardson. I'm the CEO of Aging Services of North Central Massachusetts, ASAP, so to speak. I've been teaching here, I think, 13 years, and I've been humbled to teach that math dweeb class. And as I go through the whole thing, I always turn my hat over to Professor O'Leary, who gets to teach the people class. Sometimes numbers are easier than people. So it's really been an honor to be part of this program. It's an awesome program, and I tend to learn more from the students and who they are and where they're going than I can bring to the classes. So it's great stuff.
Thanks, Laurie. Susan?
So I'm Susan Carton. I finished the program in 2014. Hard to believe it's been that long. I am the director of the Council on Aging in Norwell, Massachusetts, and I am celebrating my 7th year as the director this year. The program was phenomenal. I'm involved with Mass Council on Aging with Patty Sullivan's. I'm involved with Dementia Friendly initiatives. We have a lot going on, and I will tell you, this program was phenomenal. I talk about it to people all the time, and I do some new director training, and when I talk to them, I mention the program to them as well. Each of your classes that I took has helped me in a number of different ways and continues to. So thrilled to be part of it.
Thank you, Susan. Jill?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jill McClellan Phelps. I'm in Albany, New York, and I graduated from the program in December of 22. And I'm also a nurse, and I work with persons with cognitive impairments and memory issues on a LAC dementia unit. I also work in affordable housing, and this program not only taught me so much, it also reinvigorated my love and passion for the industry, and has really pushed me on just really trying to educate and share the good news of older persons, aging, and trying to just educate a lot of folks who have a lot of misconceptions about what aging is. And it's such an honor to see Ellen. Who else can you call at 6:30 a.m. on any given day? And my professors and friends, thank you. It's truly changed my life to be a part of this program.
Thank you, Jill. Patty Sullivan.
I chuckle. First of all, I'm Patty Sullivan. I work for the Massachusetts Councils on Aging, where I manage the Dementia Friends initiative. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm sorry I got caught in the traffic last night and missed you all in person. But mostly I'm chuckling because when I took Patty Rivard's class, we had 3 Patties in the class. So it was quite confusing. So it sort of reminds me of this once again. So I talk about this program all the time. I am constantly pitching it to senior center directors, outreach staff, anybody who's working in the COA world. It's a real opportunity to get a substantive survey exposure to the entire field. And I use the stuff every day that I learned in this program. And I can say, only because Nina is not here, that my deepest regret is that I didn't take her course on transportation. I paid for it on a regular basis. So, and as she keeps saying to me, you can still buy the textbook. And so what can I say? That was my only omission in terms of failure in the program. But other than that, it was fabulous. And I value the friendships and relationships that have come from this program. I feel I can call people all over the country who I've met in the program. And I also have a great collection of experts right here in town who I can tap into.
Thank you, Patty. Debbie.
Well, I will start out by saying thank you. This program was really and still is life-changing for me. I talk about it all the time. And I'm just so thankful to have been part of it, to have had it change, my trajectory in life. And I graduated with Susan, and Susan, and that's one of the things that's really cool about the program is I love the people I still stay in contact with. Susan, I did just text you a picture which popped up yesterday of us at graduation, which is hilarious. So I specialized in dementia because of my mother. She got me into the program. I ended up working for a startup company that got a grant and building an app for dementia. And then on top of that, because that wasn't busy enough, I decided that I would accept Ellen's offer and teach aging and technology, which I wish they would have had when I was there. So for the program. So I'm just
excellent.
I'm just humbled is all I can say. I love the program. I think it changes most people's lives who take it and helps our public health issues immensely.
Thank you, Debbie. Sharon.
My own. Oh, I'm in a other type of direction. So I'll give you a list of what I'm doing. Part of it came because during COVID, I had 2 years to show up free of charge to conferences all over the world, have one-on-ones with the the CEOs and so on, leaders and others in other industries who attended. So I kept growing that way. But if I didn't have my master's, I wouldn't grow at all. So gerontology has been my open door to reach out to countries all over the world, as well as in the US. So I would say that each class gave me yet another set of tools, not one tool, a set of tools, and they were all connected. Learning is a bunch of connections rather than singular subjects that you say, okay, well, that was good, but what am I going to do with it? And what we have here in the master's program is services. We're service oriented. I've been a service oriented goods and services my whole career. So what I've done is I have 2 companies that are launching that I'm part of on the boards. It's called the Ageless Traveler, which is for the 50 plus, and the things that we need as older adults traveling, whether it be types of foods or shoes or sneakers, or I only want to walk a mile a day and then get away, doing something else. Castles are not important, but I'd like to do all of it. And I've explored every country, and now I want to do something different or do it differently. There's a whole exploration around the world. The second one is Business Authority, is for the 50 plus business people who've already had successes or want to do something different and have a few funds or want to get funds. So this is specific to the 50 plus population. I'm also a member of the British Society of Gerontology, and that's been going on 3 years. And we picked retail as what we wanted to focus on. So retail is not just clothing, and it's not just the 15-minute walk in the UK where you have all the different stores available to you in a 15-minute walk, but it's also housing, which is what I picked. And they loved it because we have advances here that they don't have in the UK, such as what Disney is doing with their property in Palm Springs. And they don't have Latitude Margaritaville homes. So oh yes, brilliant. And so there's that. And there are a number of other experiences that I've had because I am a gerontologist. Not because I'm cute, not because I'm a marketing wizard, because I'm a gerontologist, and I'm proud to show up as a social gerontologist. That's it.
Thank you, Sharon. Suzanne?
All right. Hey, everybody. Martin, beautiful baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am in my final semester of the graduate program, hopefully. And I'm doing some exciting things right now that are just kind of amazing. I have 4 projects that I'm working on, outside, both that kind of merge right now with my classes and outside professionally. One thing for about a year now, I've been hosting and facilitating the Memory Cafe in town here. And so that's going really well. I have about 10 people right now that come every month. And so I'd like to try and grow that, but at the moment that's working out really well.
What town is it?
Ipswich.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ipswich, yeah, North Shore. Now I am setting up a volunteer companion program right now between Rotary International here in Ipswich and the COA also in Ipswich. We're going to start here, and I'm hoping to expand it nationwide. So one small step at a time, though, but it's very exciting. It's basically a coffee visit program with homebound older adults. And And we pitched it to the board of directors yesterday. We pitched it to the COA the day before, and we pitched it to the Rotary Club today. And it's all steam ahead. So everybody loves the idea. So that's very exciting. I just incorporated, well, no, actually, no, I didn't incorporate. I reserved a company name that I need to find out or need to figure out how I'm going to make it official. But the name I have it's Agewell Gerontology Solutions. And so that's in the works. And then I have, I'm also working on a business plan right now for setting up a type of transportation business. And I might include that with Agewell Gerontology Solutions. We'll see, but that is in the works. Because I love to spend time with older adults and I love to drive them around. So why not do that? And
then what else? I mean, can you juggle too? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
4 major wonderful innovations, and just it's phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. It's very exciting, and all of a sudden I'm very busy.
Yes, I can imagine you are. Just don't forget to finish your classes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, thank you. It's very good stuff here.
Thanks, Suzanne. KR?
Hello, all. I am a former instructor, and I'm a retired guy. I managed to get older than I was before, and I'm having a pretty good time. I'm pretty healthy for a guy my age, and on the whole, I've been reasonably lucky. The program's been a great experience for me. I'm a 3-degree holder from UMB, so I feel pretty good about that. And to come back and teach in the program for a number of years was a great thing for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But it finally got to the point where my memory had flagged to the point where I couldn't just keep doing it. There is one thing I'd like to say. I say this often, as often as anybody's willing to listen. You know, Lori's classes, which I recall as being involved with finance and figures, I still believe is one of the most important things that we can bring to our students. They have touchstones as a group. They have touchstones for most of the other courses, and we're enhancing the depth of their understanding. When I was trying to teach that course in my own sort of meager way by comparison, I was so surprised at how much so many of our students had to learn about that. Not all the people who came from business, there are a few of those, but the folks who were really dedicated to public service and had spent a lot of time in the public sector really need that stuff. So I think it's a great course, but I enjoyed teaching the various courses I taught, and it's nice to be here with all the people who respect this program, enjoyed it, and have been involved with it. Thank you.
Thank you, KR. Len?
Well, thank you for inviting me, Ellen. I'm here because I'm a big fan of Lillian and Ellen and Dan. And I want to mention that I first learned about this program when I was party to setting up a program that was supposed to compete with it. I was the CEO at Hebrew Senior Life, and we entered into a partnership with Brandeis to offer a program that would be very much like this one. I didn't know much about it at the time, but when we got virtually no applicants to our program, and I began to ask around, I was told it was because the best program available, the best program possible was already available at UMass Boston. And that is how I began to learn. And of course, over the years, being the former director of the Gerontology Institute, I got to work with Ellen and some other folks involved in the program and realize what an extraordinary resource it has been for the aging services field, and the number and the quality of alums in this program, along with the faculty who teach, is really, really impressive. and a tremendous tribute to Ellen and Lillian, who have a lot of other accomplishments under their belt. But, you know, this just may be their most influential or close. When I came to the state 20 some years ago, Lillian was the Secretary of Elder Affairs in the glory days of that department. And Lillian was a rock star in Massachusetts. And it was wonderful getting to meet her. So I'm so happy to be here and to offer congratulations to all of the graduates and to Lillian and Ellen and the faculty who have made this program possible.
Thank you, Len. Checks in the mail. I just feel really lucky because we look at this room. We have such great people and great friends. You can't beat it. Sophia.
Oh boy, how am I going to follow up with all of that? But so my name's Sophia. I just graduated, and I'm excited to see Joan and Jill and Suzanne. Suzanne, you'll get there. I know it's tough this last class, but you'll get there. It's coming. I work in an assisted living with those who have dementia as a life stylist, but because of this program, I have connections in advocacy now, and I work or help Kelly Fitzgerald on the NGO Committee on Aging in Geneva, and I do some advocacy work with Grey Panthers NYC, and recently, actually this week, I'm going to work on a project with the Moving Forward Coalition, which I know does some work with some UMass faculty. And so that's really exciting. And so I wouldn't have had these connections and these experiences had it not been for the master's program. I mean, I know Ellen always mentioned when I was considering the program in the very beginning that the MAS program was more of a foundation, and it's definitely been, but it's also accelerated not just my professional career, but my knowledge. And I just can't thank you enough, and all of my professors who are here tonight on the call enough, and my classmates, because I learned a tremendous amount from you as well. And it's just been a fantastic program. I miss it. It's been a couple months, but I still miss it. And I just want to thank you all for everything. So thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. Emily, can you hear us? Yay.
Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. I am not turning on my screen because I took my makeup off and we're in the middle of dinner. But I just wanted to pop on. I was actually sending everyone a text. This was the most incredible experience of my academic career, and it makes me want to continue that to receive a PhD in gerontology because of the professors, KR, everyone. You were just so inspirational, and everything I learned is applicable to my world in the councils on aging in Massachusetts. I'm a director down in Bridgewater, which is a college town. And it's just been an incredible journey having worked in nonprofit management, transitioning into municipal government and elder services. It's very different. As you can imagine, there's a lot of challenges and loopholes to jump through, but having had an education in the city of Boston and meeting so many people who were fierce advocates, whether you're an adult child of someone who's aged or a caregiver, or you just want to continue your education. My undergrad is in health administration from the University of North Florida. So it's a specialized program in helping people in human services. And that was my goal. And I hope to continue that. Short and sweet. That's all I have.
Thank you, Emily.
Yep.
Philippa.
Good evening, everybody. I was hoping that I would not be called on to say anything.
Just introduce yourself, that's all.
I'm currently a student and going through, I guess, and lots of uncertainties currently, but it is very nice to see quite a number of the professors I've had thus far. And this whole experience has been, I don't know how to describe it, but something I was not expecting.
I hope that's not in a horrible way.
No, it's very positive.
Okay, good.
So even though I'm still uncertain as to the direction I'm going to eventually end up in, which is one of the reasons why whenever there's a forum going on, I always log in just to learn what other people are doing. And also the fact that I still have no experience in the real scheme of things when it comes to saying you're working in the field, other than just personal family experience. So I don't want to say that I'm still a little lost, but I'm getting there just from listening to all of the testimonies that I've been hearing over the past year, seeing that September made a year since I've been in the program, and I'm still happy with having bitten the bullet to move forward. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Aging is a field, not a discipline. So if you went to nursing school, you'd learn a set of skills, you'd get a toolbox full of tools to use, you'd be excellent at using them, and you would be able to do your job well. And then you could specialize in cardiology or pediatrics or emergency nursing. But aging is different because it's healthcare, psychology, sociology, transportation, housing, nutrition. It is entertainment. And so there are a lot of directions to go in, and you're not alone wondering where you'll land. And a lot of our students come in the program thinking they know exactly what they're going to do, and they leave doing something completely different. So no worries, you are in good company. Martin, would you like to introduce yourself? And Robin, of course.
Sure. I'm Martin Hansen-Verma. I think I know everybody on the call. Many of you have met my daughter Ripley, but my wife is putting her to bed, so I'm here with my son Robin. He's new. He's a new addition. He's 5 months old, and he might make some remarks here. So I apologize for the distraction, but he's loving hearing all these voices, and I am too. It's really great to see this group and hear about your experiences. And every time we have an event like this, it's really gratifying for me. It makes me feel really good about what we do. And even though I'm only a small part of your experience, I like to think that I'm helping people kind of achieve their goals here. And that's a big part of what life at the university is all about.
We all know that Martin's role is not that small, that none of us would be doing anything without him. And in addition to Martin, we now have Charles, who is also really good at keeping the wheels on the bus. Is that what it is? So Charles, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I've been sort of a serial academic administrator, and I worked at the McCormick School about a year ago, and I came back to UMass because I really thought the people were fantastic, and the mission of the department and this program in particular really a great draw, and it's been great so far. So,
thank you, Charles.
I'll introduce Percival, who was squeaking at the base of the stairs because domestically I'm known as the meal man, and someone else took care of him, but he wanted to see me, so that's what is on my mind.
Nice introduction. And last but by no means least, Lillian.
Hi, everyone. It's so great to see so many familiar faces. Well, I am a retiree, and happily so for the time being, and was formerly Assistant Secretary and then Secretary of Elder Affairs in Massachusetts, and worked for that office for many years in different capacities, and worked with quite a number of people on this call, including Pat, and of course, Ellen, Dan, and it's Lori, so many of you. Ellen and I have worked together for over 40 years, and been a great team. And well, now of course, for the last few years, I haven't been doing that, but we certainly have a great history of working and developing this program. And it's really so satisfying to hear everybody's experience. And the best part is all the successes that students have. And it's interesting, the very different routes that people take, but all doing terrific service and elder services. And it's just inspiring. And I also have to say, and I mentioned this last night, but for those of you who weren't there, I think really the major focus of this program has been on the wonderful teaching capacity we've had, and the fact that we've had such a continuity of teachers. We have, as Lori mentioned, and Dan, and so many of you, Bob Dwyer, faculty that have been with us almost the entire program history. And that's really rare. You don't really see that. And it's all because they're so great, got such great reviews, and is so terrific at doing it. And that's really been the heart of the program. And of course, the real heart of the program is Ellen. Ellen has been unbelievable. Ellen has so many wonderful skills besides teaching, administration. She does it all. And she does it happily, and she makes it all fun to be involved in. And she's such a pleasure, as you all know. You can call Ellen, as someone mentioned, at any time, and she will be there. She'll handle any situation and handle it well. And she's really made this program what it is today.
Some of you may believe that, but for those of you who have known me for 40 years, you know that I hang on to Lillian and still call her at the drop of any hat to get the right answer. So it's all good.
And Ellen is also obviously very modest and never gives herself the full credit for which she.
All right, enough.
Oh, well deserved.
Enough. Okay. Clearly, Lily and I have been friends for a long time. So welcome to the 20th anniversary of the Management of Aging Services program. Yay! And thanks to all of you, we have a phenomenal program. What's really fantastic about this program, and something I don't understand, and I would love to take credit for this, but I cannot, is the fact that we graduates, alumni, faculty all stay in touch. It's an online program. We don't sit next to each other in class. We don't go to lunch together. And yet 20 years later, we have students keeping in touch with each other, students keeping in touch with faculty members, people coming to virtual office hours, people reaching out to each other when they're working on projects. And I don't know exactly how that happened. But what I do know is that it's unique, and it speaks to the warmth and understanding and passion and caring that every single one of us has for working with older adults. And the fact that to my mind, it takes a special kind of person to work in this field. And for some reason, you all came here, and I am so eternally grateful for that, because I think we have an amazing group of people who are doing phenomenal things to make the lives of older adults better. And so for that, I thank you all. We're not going to do a traditional celebration. The best thing we did today was go around the room and hear what people are doing and introducing each other. And I think that's phenomenal. And I have recruited a few people to be panelists. I asked Sharon Rose. I asked Laurie Richardson. I asked Pat Ravine. I asked, hold on. Where are you on my screen? Oh, Joan, there you are. You moved. You weren't in the same place. Joan. And I asked
Bill Holman.
Oh, Bill, where are you? There you are. You were going to try to sneak out of this, weren't you?
I'm so sorry I didn't jump up.
I'm only kidding. It's okay. I've come up with a few questions. Well, it wasn't just me. It was several of you who helped me with the questions. Just because I want us to think about what this program has done so far and what it can do. And what that basically means is not only what it means, what it can do for students, but what it can do for older adults. So I'm going to ask my first question. Actually, I'm not. My first question was how has the MAS program influenced your direction and career? But we've already heard that, so we don't have to ask that question. But my second question is, why is education in gerontology so important? Go ahead, Sharon. Oh, sorry, Joan.
Oh, go ahead, Joan. No, I yield to the Joan.
Sharon's yielding to the top left corner on my screen.
So just a little bit about how I came into the program. I have been taking, a lot of my professors know, take care of my father who has advanced dementia for the past 7 years. And I was feeling, I wanted to change careers, and I was feeling pretty confident, like I could be a care manager. And so I sent out a couple applications, and I got the nicest rejection letter that I wasn't a social worker. And so I was like, oh no, like this is, my plan B for my, sort of swan song of my professional career. I didn't know what to do. So I happened upon Ellen, and she told me, about the program, and it just sounded so fascinating to me. And also that all of the social work programs, and I admire social workers. I'm working only with social workers, because in Westchester County, that is sort of like I'm one of the only gerontologists around. But they don't have a lot of courses in gerontology. Maybe like a couple of them have four classes, and I had 12. And the education that I got from policy, finance, social perspectives, just aging issues, and even like the data and research, how it applied to aging, and exposed me to all of these studies on aging. It just, I just, like everyone was saying, I use it every single day, and I have to use all my tricks, to sort of coax older adults and get them to sort of almost help themselves, is one of the things that I try to do. But why education is so important is because without that, I don't think I would have been able to have the tool set to do the research to help them, and to understand and really sympathize with their struggles. And, I do, I won't say anything about the people I work with, but some of them are impatient with older adults, and especially those that have cognitive issues. And, they do yell at me a little bit, but I understand why, that they're almost like desperate. They're in the end of, getting towards the end of their life, and they can't get the right help. They're feeling alone. Many of them are widowed, or have no family, or have been abused by family. And if I didn't have this incredible education that I got at UMass, I'm not sure I would have been able to help them as well, and been as sympathetic.
Sharon?
Piggybacking onto the gentlewoman from New York, I'm a New Yorker, is education. I'm from a family of being educated, and the more you learn, the more you know, the more you are curious. But what I found in gerontology is that it goes everywhere, and it's not just for old and frail, which is that ageist, I didn't say that, mentality and perspective embedded in the world, but it's more of a system that we can use with the tools we get in our classes and apply them as gerontologists. Typically, I say gerontologist, and I hear, oh, you're a dermatologist. No, that was a fast New York accent. Or oh, right, you're a geri something, you deal with old people. No, I don't do that, and that's a doctor. So, that this new field, I love saying it, and then finding it in the UK with their accent, but they're doing it the same. We're now publishing an article in the European Journal of Marketing with the results that we've been finding in retail. The application is everywhere. And I have another one in India that we're beginning to work with Ageless Travel, and she's all journals. She's written a lot. And so I say, okay, you do that part, and I'll do the social. And Adrian's going to do the different, she's an attorney, but she's got, each of us, I see Debbie over there. Debbie just kept applying different skills, and then just kept spinning them up. And listening to Len, I know you through Rhonda, and you were at the Hebrew campus. We're all here from various parts of the world, and our passion for life and how to make that helpful and positive and productive and purposeful. Those are my 3 Ps. That's what I feel.
Thank you.
Thank
Who
you.
else? Would anybody else like to?
Laurie, I'll just add a few comments. I participated in a panel this morning at Fitchburg State University, a couple of classes in the human services field, undergraduate. And there I am, aging services, up against DCF, the kids, and DDS disabilities. I asked the question, who knows about Alzheimer's and dementia? And you know how you can get a feel for the class and people are going to tell you. They were shaking their head no. They were shaking their head no. Total fascination. And I just spoke, you know, DDS, DCF, the kids. I'm like, the kids are going to grow up. The kids have parents. What we learn in aging service, education is so important, but the success in what we do is the heart. Having the heart. Everyone that's here is drawn somehow, even if there's curiosities or I'm still trying to figure it out. It's really the understanding in the heart. The dweeb class I teach, it's very important to know resources of time and money have limitations. And how do we best utilize those resources? It's not to say there's someone that has all the answers. It's what we do here. It's collaboration. It's learning the connections, who to call at 6:30 in the morning, who to reach out to. I remember quite frequently Dan O'Leary, calling him and just finding out the nuances and working with the policies and the politics and being always able to tell that story. Besides the data, we can identify trends. Getting to that human connection draws all of us in, whether we're here because of taking care of our dad. Now my father has dementia. My mother has the diagnosis of denial. I'm sitting in the PCP. I'm like, what a beautiful shit show. I work in the industry and I have no answers. So it's just having the heart, building the collaboration, and knowing we have to advocate. And who are the successful leaders with the education? They're authentic. The ego is at the door. So that's my thoughts.
Thanks, Laurie. It's a nice segue, because my next question is, how do we develop strong leaders in the aging services world?
Ellen, I'll take that one, if you don't mind. I believe what you're doing is the way that we need to educate folks to come into the field. Somebody mentioned the life-changing experience that the program provided for them. I am also a product of a similar program from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and I would agree with that notion that as a finance guy and recovering CFO, the work in policy and many other areas were very valuable to develop my development to become a leader. So I think one of our challenges is promoting individuals to think innovatively, to think creatively, to understand that they are coming into a very complex industry, and that while it is extremely important to know the individual that we are serving, when we look at the components of the longevity economy, and we've heard some great examples here tonight, that there's advocacy. There, somebody mentioned the political part of it. There's also the finance piece that's extremely important. No margin, no mission kind of thing. So I think, in my opinion, just to continue to promote that well-rounded education so that individuals who are going to come out as leaders understand enough to be effective and transform organizations. I think we'd all agree to some extent that the way we're caring for older adults now is probably not the way we want to be cared for at some point in time, if and when we need it. So the promotion of an entrepreneurial spirit, which we also heard tonight, I think is a great vision. But overall, it's that well-roundedness, in my opinion. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Patty, you want to chime in?
Yes, I would circle this, the discussion back to the strengths of this program. I think Lillian touched on it, the instructors, both sort of more the academic instructors versus the applied instructors. But in terms of leadership and the strengths of this program, it's amazing some of the students You know, I was thinking back to when I was teaching. It was a class in organizational change. You know, I had all the, you know, the readings ready and my slide deck, and but the reality was, it was the discussion. You know, we had a student who was from a COA. Somebody was from an assisted living, transportation provider, an ASAP, all sort of brainstorming. And it's sort of, we don't get to do that at work a lot. Everybody's so busy to sort of hit the pause button and almost have like a think tank. So it was about organizational change and how we can shift people to thinking to be more person-centered. You know, and as Bill just said, you know, providing services in a way that people want to get services. And it was just amazing to see, you know, everybody was like, gee, you hadn't really thought about it that way. So, you know, you can sort of have the best reading and the best slide deck in the world, but the reality was just having people in that room together, sort of coming together and then leaving, going back to their own agencies, really more in a leadership role of, you know, sort of promoting person-centered planning. I mean, the students were just unbelievable. And I was just blown away by the quality. And I think those that didn't come to these classes with a lot of background just learned so much and were so happy for those connections. And I think, you know, Sophia mentioned this, connections are also a key component of this. You walk away from, you know, this program not only with all this knowledge, but, you know, you have friends for life. And, you know, when my phone would ring at home before 7, my husband would say, that's got to be Ellen. So I can relate to that. But yeah, it's just a wonderful program. And I was just so happy to be part of it. So
I'm going to make one comment about this last question, and then we will wind down. I have the pleasure and honor to teach the leadership and ethics course. And I try to provide all the textbook crap that is out there for students, because it's really, really important that they understand that. But there are 2 things about being a leader that I think are really, really important. And they're soft. They're not the hard stuff. They're not the rules that you learn in the books. One, it has to do with interpersonal skills, but it has to do with understanding that it is all about you as a leader, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you. You are all important in that you are setting an example, but if you're a good leader, you're not thinking about yourself, you're thinking about the people that you're serving. Your focus has to be outside of you. You have to recognize that your behavior has to be upstanding, but your entire focus has to be elsewhere. And that's really hard for a human being, because as human beings, we're naturally selfish, and not in a bad way. It's good to be self-aware. How about that? So, you know, that's a really important aspect of teaching leadership, understanding that your focus has to be to the outside. And it's really hard to do when you're a leader, because the buck stops here. You're the one that's going to get the hits all the time, or you're the one that takes responsibility. And when you take responsibility, you know, that really helps. My best example of that, don't yell at me, is Lillian. When she was Secretary of Elder Affairs, she supported her staff completely, and she yelled at us when we screwed up. There was not, as she should, but she always took total responsibility. And she was able to accomplish so many things in the Commonwealth because she was a phenomenal leader. And I don't think there's anybody who worked with her that would say anything different. So thank you, Lillian, because you taught me what I know, and I'm still trying to internalize it and incorporate it. And I will continue to try till I take my last breath.
My strength was that I worked with people like you, Pat, Dan, and so many of you. I don't want to leave anybody out. I mean, that was my strength. I was smart enough to hire smarter people.
Yeah, thanks. So I am going to say one thing, and again, she's going to yell at me. Yesterday, we launched the Lillian Glickman Student Support Fund for the Management of Aging Services program. This program offers students an opportunity to become leaders in the field of aging, but we do not offer any financial support. And because the field of aging is not a lucrative field, our students sometimes, and our students are non-traditional, they have children, they have parents, they have mortgages. And if somebody needs braces, they can't afford to pay for the class. Sometimes the books are too expensive and they can't buy the books, or they want to, there's a conference they want to go to so they can learn something specific that's important to their career and their work, but they can't afford to pay for the airfare. So the Student Support Fund is designed to just provide a little additional support for students so that they can excel in their careers and they can continue to pursue the things that they love and be excellent leaders in the field of aging. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I feel truly honored to know all of you and to work with all of you and to be a part of this, because I learn so much every single day from all of you and from every class and from every interaction. And it's truly, truly humbling, because, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And I just feel like every day I have so much to learn, and I learn from you. And I also feel like we have a family. And in that family, we can work together to do so much. So I appreciate your being here and celebrating with us. I appreciate all of the work that you do that makes us look so good. And I appreciate your advocacy and your enthusiasm for our program.